Yo, what's going on, gamers? It's Ryan 6 days a week, and just last night, Ironmace, the devs of Dark and Darker, hosted their Tavern Talk Episode 3, in which they unfortunately confirmed some of the content release news that we covered in our last video. So yes, next swipe, we won't get the water map, the guild halls, the arquebus musket, or the monk class, but they did give us some insight on some of the new things that they have prepped and will be available on wipe, which is actually new to me as well. This is information that I did not even see before, so we'll go over that in this video. First, though we aren't getting a new map, we are actually going to be getting some new monsters. It's rumored to be around 7 currently. SDF let that slip, so it's just a guess that there's 7 new monsters. And they gave us teasers on 2 of them. On the left, the Abomination, and on the right, Cerberus. So very much likely going to be Inferno-based sub-bosses. And with new sub-bosses comes new hunting drops, and with new hunting drops comes new crafts. Right now we have confirmation that the Tome of Sheol, hopefully I spelled that right, will be a craftable spellbook. But of course many others will be on their way. This was just the only one that was teased in the podcast. My best guess right now is that it's going to be crafted from the Banshee Sonnet, from the Banshee boss. This probably means that we're going to get some sort of sword from the Spectral Knight's Spectral Hilt as well. Next we have the loot and gear confirmations for the new modes as well as the current existing modes. So the PvE mode, which is now going to be called the Adventure mode, is very much going to be designed to be the casual experience. They want players to go into this mode and be able to VoIP and just mess around in general, as well as learn the game. So the best loot, which of course is going to be sourced from the bosses, gold chests, and piles, is going to be restricted to Epic. Also, there's going to be no gear score limitations as of now. That could change in the future, but technically you can bring into artifacts into PvE mode and just demolish the entire PvE lobby. Now, these lobbies are going to be locked to just trios to prevent too many queues, but you can queue into trios solo or duo and just tick off the box that says match with other players. Now for normal mode, they're actually going to be merging the under 24 and the 25 to 125 gear score brackets. So it's not just going to be one bracket from 0 to 125. In this mode, there's going to be no uniques and there's going to be reduced high-end drops. So in the past, no matter what lobby you went into, troll pellets, spectral fabrics, other really expensive drops always had the same % chance to drop. So now they're going to change that. I don't know if it's going to be a reduction to the normal modes or just an increase to the HR modes. It sounds like that the reasoning here is that they don't want people to endlessly farm normals. They want people to eventually progress into HR. Alright, now for a high roller mode. High roller mode will still have 2 brackets, but the first bracket has no bottom limitation. So you can go 0 to hero, as the bracket is going to be 0 to 224, and the high bracket is going to be 225 and beyond. The first bracket is gonna drop more uniques, that's what's stated by Terran, but no artifacts. So HR bosses in the 0 to 224 will never drop an artifact. That's gonna be reserved specifically for the second bracket, 225 plus. On top of this, the HR boss spawning mechanic will change as well. So in HR, you now have to craft certain items that will be used to spawn and choose your high roller boss. We didn't get too many details on this quite yet, but it sounds like from sub-bosses, so maybe the Token of Honor and maybe Ectoplasm or something like that, you have to take that back to the lobby and craft another item to bring to the empty boss room and summon a boss from there. So pretty cool mechanic on paper, but I do think this is going to make HR boss room camping even worse of a situation since it takes that much effort to actually summon the boss. I could be wrong though, maybe it's going to be quite easy. But from what's been described, it does seem like quite the task. Oh, and one last note before we move on from the lobby discussion, they will be adding in the Expressman once more to all game modes in between all levels. So yes, Expressman will be back, and technically that means Auto will be back as well. For those who have never used the Expressman, he serves as a way to send back any looted items from the dungeon while you're in raid to your lobby for just a small gold fee. Next, we'll also be receiving some new quests, and with higher difficulty to account for the PvE mode. Not much information was given on this one, but just do expect some changes to the quest system. Also, we'll have a new surprise merchant, which I think is probably going to be related to the Cockatrice merchant or the Cockatrice Nest merchant as teased in the previous episode. Again, no details on this quite yet, just expect something new in the lobby. Next, we also got a teaser of the HR leaderboards, which are going to refresh on a weekly basis, in addition to the existing AP system. So they aren't going to remove the AP system this swipe. These two leaderboard systems will be independent of each other, but still based on your HR performance. Next, we'll have a slight arena change as they want to bring in the solo queue rank bracket. Ironmace stated that 3 stacks have far too much of an advantage in the current arena system, so they're going to have a separate solo queue arena, which will still be a 3v3 mode, but you'll just queue into solo and have 2 randomly assigned teammates. They did very much say that this wasn't going to be permanent, as they don't want to split the arena queues too much. Next, we did get confirmation that Twitch drops will be arriving early next wipe. So from the 12th to the 23rd, we will be getting Twitch drops, which include a ton of new cosmetics, and they did tease one of them for us, the Hungering Lantern, as well as what appears to be a torch, which follows the same theme as shown on screen here. And finally, on top of the free Twitch cosmetics, the shop will be receiving a ton of new paid cosmetics, so from blue or red shards, which will feature a new lobby skin, a new race skin, and likely more items and emotes. Alright gamers, we did get confirmation that next Thursday, April 10th at 3 p.m. KST or 11 p.m. PST if you're on the West Coast like me, the full wipe will commence and servers will go down. I expect it's going to be a downtime of around 6 to 9 hours. I hope you can get a good surprise, so a shorter than expected delay, but definitely don't stay up for this one if you're in the United States like me. Just expect to play on Friday, probably around midday. Alright gamers, thank you as always for watching. I'll see you in the next video.